So when I switched from macOS to Linux and Omarchy, there was this one tool that I missed right away, and that was a visual speech-to-text recorder. On the Mac, I used this small hotkey activated plugin that popped up a window showing me a live audio waveform and made it clear that the recording was active. And on Linux and Hyperland and Omarchy, I found some alternatives, but none of them gave me this, I guess, the visual feedback I wanted. So several of these two tools, they ran entirely in the background, and they were quite unstable. And a few times I spoke for minutes and just to discover that nothing had been recorded. So in the end, I ended up building my own, something I called OSTT, which stands for Open Speech to Text. And so let's open it up. Tapping Command R brings up the OSTT window, and it starts recording. I can press the spacebar to pause the recording if I need to stop to think, which I often need to do. To then continue at a later time when I've collected my thoughts. OSTT is a fully a CLI application. It's built using Rust and Ratatouille, the TUI framework for Rust. And once I press enter or the hotkey again, the transcription takes place, and we can paste the resulting transcription in the terminal here. And that is, that is the core of what OSTT is, and like it's a visual alternative. I like the idea of it being a CLI application, but still a visual CLI application that pops up in a window in Hyperland, because Hyperland has all these really cool configurability options that allow you to do stuff like this. So what else to show? OSTT has some other nice features. Oh, I also wanted to mention before moving forward that I'm almost a bit ashamed, but not really. OSTT is 100% vibe coded. I have not written one single line of code. Some of the code files I have not actually looked at, to be honest. I've been using open code together with mostly Claude Haiku 4.5. So it's not their most advanced model, but it's cheap and it's quite fast. And for my purposes, it has given me, it has produced great results. A few times I've brought in Sonnet to solve some gnarly issues, but mostly Haiku. So I think I've spent perhaps $30 in prompt cost credits for this app, which is insane. I mean, agentic AI powered coding has been, it's so great compared to just a few months ago. So what other features does OSTT have? Let's have a look. Typing OSTT help. So of course you can bring up OSTT directly in the terminal like this also. It's just I have configured it with a hotkey and a pop-up because it's nice. And this also means that it works on any Linux distribution, it works on a Mac, etc. But to get this really nice pop-up experience, I would recommend you using a Hyperland, Wayland, and Omarchy distribution ideally. So that's that transcription. OSTT help. Okay, what do we have here? We have some commands. We have the record command, and that is the default command that is run if you don't type any other command. We have auth. Let's have a look at auth. It's the command you use to authenticate with the provider and model you want to use. OSTT auth. Oh, sorry. What's with the... So currently I'm using GPT-4 transcribe model, and we also the app also supports Deepgram, which arguably is more advanced and also I believe faster and cheaper also I believe. It would be nice to add some more models as well, perhaps even like a local whisper support, who knows. The next command, let's see. We have the history command, we have the keywords command, we have the config command. Let's look at them in this order. We have, let's start with the config command. OSTT config brings up NeoVim, or it brings up your preferred editor basically, and the config file. You select the audio device and you can select a few settings here. So you can select the sample rate to match the sample rate preferred by your provider. And you can set also stuff like peak volume threshold and reference level dB. And that is for the pop-up window has a peak, what do you call it? Peak notification. And that is one of the issues what I did not like with these non-visual tools. Since I have this external mic, I found it difficult to know at what recording level I was recording in. So I wanted, let me see the waveform so I know that I'm recording at a good level. And here we are using FFmpeg to transform the recorded audio from a WAV file to something more compact that can be sent to the transcription provider. So in this case, we converted to MP3 and with 12 kilohertz, which is an 16 kilobytes per second, kilobits per second. And then we have some provider-specific options. I won't go into detail there, but Deepgram provides a whole host of cool small options. You can, tell it to do punctuation or smart formatting, etc. OpenAI Whisper doesn't have really options like that. OSTT. Well, then what's next? OSTT history. This is a nice feature, I believe. So this really uses the Ratatouille TUI features to provide a nice interactive UI in the terminal. It allows you to browse your transcription history. So if you're, for instance, something goes wrong with the pasting, you paste in the wrong app, and then something happens, then you can go back and you just select one of your older transcriptions, copy it to the clipboard, and paste it. So that's kind of neat. And then what else did we have? History. Yeah, the keywords, of course. OSTT keywords. So in the keywords list, you can add difficult words. You might say, words that the AI might have a difficulty spelling. So words added to this list will be included in the context that will be given to the provider. So that transcription you will have better transcription results. And this works best with the Deepgram that has great support for this. And then what else do you have? You have OSTT logs, I believe. So you can see, stuff that has been going on if something doesn't work. And maybe that's it. OSTT, this is convenient. OSTT list devices. So that lists all the available audio devices on your system conveniently. So you can look up which device to add it to your configuration file. I think that about wraps it up. That is what I mostly wanted to talk about when it comes to OSTT. Let's bring it up again, just because it looks nice, I think, at least. OSTT is an open source application. It's a MIT licensed open source application. I'm happy to hear your suggestions on what to add, if adding new providers and that kind of stuff. I'm also happy to see contributions to this app, and yeah, I hope you like it, and thanks.